Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. Just listen to the rules and procedures we're going to follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Anyone here would need an adjournment for this evening?
With this application, the property just closed 2 days ago. So based on
What is the application number?
it was case number 23-109.
Okay. So do you need an adjournment for this evening?
Sounds like I can't proceed since they're not the owner anymore, right? I wouldn't like one, but if we have to, that's fine. I can get written consent. They just said they're closing, the attorneys worked it out.
So you're the new owner of the property right now?
No, I was on the applications, I took care of everything, it's my name. My name is CC'd on everything, all the letters and all that stuff. I can bring written consent, I just don't have it with me right now.
Okay, let me understand.
represent?
Sure,
So you're not the owner, you're representing the new owner,
no,
Previous owner.
prior owner?
years except for a couple days ago, correct.
Matthew and Diana Dunn?
Done, right, exactly.
Okay, and the property has been sold.
Yeah, the day before yesterday.
Was there money in escrow held because there was open concerns here?
No, not to my knowledge. I don't think they held any escrow.
You have an owner's endorsement letter.
Oh, yeah, I submitted that all with the application originally, the radius maps, all that. I did the owner endorsement notarized, not on me, that was with the application before I got the hearing.
For the new owner.
For the new owner.
Everything started before the property
Okay,
sold.
so no.
So ideally, we'd like to proceed if possible, and then if you need, before anything be given, I could bring any written consent. They're gonna open up, inspector's gonna have to get back in for the final.
Well, there are also open building permits on this, so
Yeah, so
I think rather than take more time up for the board right now, we need to adjourn this to another date, and you need to address it with the building department, the planning department.
just so I'm clear though, so we have final sign-offs on everything, and it's all writing on this,
But we don't have it here, and it says there's open building permits. So what you need to do is you need to adjourn this hearing this evening and contact the zoning board for additional documentation and to apply for another date for a hearing.
what are we missing though? The open
I can't answer those questions right now. You need to contact the zoning board or the building department, the planning board, and they will.
I'm not understanding what,
It's easy to understand. All you need to do, we're going to adjourn this hearing this evening. Okay. You're going to call and contact and make an appointment with the building department and planning department, and they're going to give you all the details of what you need to do to reapply.
what is the reason for the adjournment? I was only letting you know the property had sold. It sounds like what I need.
Because you're not Matthew and Diana Dunn.
No, I'm on everything. If that's what it is, I'm on everything. I did the whole.
It's not here.
The owner affidavit, I took care of, that was a zoning, the whole time.
So do you have an owner's affidavit from the new owners?
No,
Okay, so you're not the property owner tonight?
no.
Correct. So you're just going to have to submit a letter from the new owners that they have your permission
Right.
to proceed as the representative on this
Okay, so
application.
that's what I did. I need another owner affidavit from the new owner.
Correct.
Okay. Can I get back on the calendar?
As quickly as we can.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So
All right.
you gonna give me anything, or that's it? I'll just let them know.
Yes.
That's it for tonight.
So the other open permit should have nothing to do with this then, right? Because they're aware. They're all being held until this variance is potentially given. So that shouldn't change anything, right? 'Cause
You'll get that answer from the planning department and
If you contact zoning tomorrow, they may have a form for you that you can just model and give to the new owners and then submit it.
Perfect, thank
All
you.
right, you're very welcome.
All right, thank you.
Proceed with the pledge now.
Okay. Would everybody please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, that was a good way to start my day. Okay. Is there anyone here for the application that is adjourned 23-109? For the record, there are none. Thank you. Okay, now, let's start on number one. First application, number 23-093, Lorna Martin. One-
Come on up to the podium.
Right there.
Oh,
Can I please have your name and address for the record?
for your record, my name is Lorna Martin. My address is 14 Fulton Street in West Babylon.
Do you affirm
New
to tell the
York,
truth?
11704.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Pardon?
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Oh, I am.
Okay, thank you. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated July 27th, 2023. Department of Environmental Control memo stating that this application may not result in significant environmental impact. We have 2 letters of correspondence dated, I believe they're dated July 27th, 2023, and July 31st, 2023. We have a survey by Jack Allison Hall dated January 13th, 1989, and a additional survey also dated December 16, 2020, from Francis C. Watson, and a tax map as an area map. No pictures? What would you like to tell us about this application?
Oh, this application was in some years ago. It started from in 2018, 2019. All the possible areas that the board requires were intact, to the point where I got a permit, and this shed was constructed then. It came in, somebody brought it in. It has been in existence since 2018, 2019, like I said, and there has been nothing that prevents it from remaining. The only thing that was supposed to be done was to have an updated survey, which was submitted later. This is so because I was called to come in to get the CO. But because I had a pod in the location, and both things cannot exist at the time, I waited. I finally got a letter stating that I should do this quickly, and I did. Then there was a pause. Then I did not hear from the board or the persons concerned with looking into this matter of the CO, presenting this once I submitted the...
Okay, so you're looking to just legalize the shed to get a valid CO?
Yes.
So we just need a variance for a east side yard setback?
Right.
Okay.
So that's the holding back of the proceedings or the procedure. So I am now requesting that, because it is even smaller than than what was submitted. It is much smaller.
Okay.
So there is no reason why you cannot, in a discretionary way, allow it to remain.
Okay. I'm going to turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, are there any other structures in your rear yard that prohibits you from moving this structure in a conforming location or to a conforming location?
No, not necessarily, because we're going to be having children my grandkids, and it's more than one, several of them. So we want to set up something like swings
Something back
and
there,
protective.
like a playground?
Yes.
Okay,
So that location is the best.
ideal.
Yes, and ideal.
So, was this shed constructed on the property or was delivered already put
It's
together?
delivered already.
It was already-
It's there, and I have things in it.
It's for storage?
Yes.
Okay. The sign that's supposed to be posted, was it posted?
Yes, it was. It's there now.
It's there
as
now
well.
currently.
Yes.
It looked like it was placed in an obstructed area initially. Did you move it, or was that ever?
It was blown over the other day, so we
Okay.
just put it in a location where it can be seen
And
from
stable.
the street. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If the shed is to be ever taken down or removed, do you agree to have it placed in a conforming location?
I wouldn't have one.
You won't have one if it ever is
No,
taken
that
down?
is just the place or the placement for it.
Okay. If it is ever taken down, though, or needs to be reconstructed, if there's ever a problem with it, do you agree to have it in a conforming location? If it needs to be rebuilt or replaced?
It would, I think that would be unnecessary to have it like rebuilt.
So if it's
It is-
damaged, it'll be done. You're not going to get another one?
Yes, but it's not. It's completely new.
Yeah, currently, the one you have now, but I'm saying 25 years from now, if there's a problem with the shed and it needs to be rebuilt, or you
Yes.
agree to have it in a conforming location?
Yes,
Perfect.
we would,
Okay, I have no further
as long
questions.
as it's safe, and, but I know it's durable. It is,
Well,
it
thank
will
you.
be able to sustain
Absolutely.
whatever
Okay.
comes.
Okay. Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? Please step up. Could have a seat for a minute.
Yes, please.
How are you? Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, my name is Chester Hazel, and I'm the neighbor directly to the east on
Your address?
24 Fulton Street.
Say your address again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
24 Fulton Street.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what would you like to tell us?
Mrs. Martin, she had the opportunity to put this shed in the right place from the beginning. She put it as close to the garage, my garage, as possible, probably mostly to aggravate me. I have police reports going back for 3 years for trespassing by Mrs. Martin. So did you receive the package that I sent you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the package kind of explains the 3-year history of what I've been going through. And I guess if you looked at that closely, you would understand why I believe that that shed should be moved or a variance should not be issued. I mean, I can go through this in detail, but it would take a long time.
Yeah, we read.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, please, you could respond. You
Right
can-
now.
Throughout my living in the area and next door, there has never been a problem. I too have police reports because what has happened, there is no updated survey. They
Okay, I
have
just
none.
want to interrupt here. This seems like
It's a
an
property
issue
line.
between two neighbors. It has nothing to do with our board here as far as a variance goes.
Right.
So I think if you could just try and work it out between the neighbors, because we have no basis to change anything here as far as your discrepancies with your neighbors.
Right, but he brought that up. He's bringing up something that
Right,
is
so we're not going to have,
unrelated.
we're not
So I
gonna-
just wanted to just let you realize what's going on.
Okay,
And
So
like
what
I
we-
said, there has been no problems with it. And one of the problems that you will not address at this point, because he's now bringing up something that he's guilty of doing.
okay,
and
we
I'm not
cannot
gonna say
address that here, okay? What we need to do is just address the variance requested
Right.
on the paperwork. So what we're going to do here is we're going to reserve a decision here, and you'll get a letter in the mail, okay?
Right. Why is that so? Can you explain? Because it
Because
has
the
been
the
there
board would like
for
to have a little
years.
bit further discussion on the situation.
It's not a hindrance or in anybody's way.
No, it has, we're not saying that, ma'am. We're just saying that we'd like to have a little bit further discussion between the board members before we make a decision. Okay, so you'll get a letter in the mail.
And can I just add this? It is on my portion of the land.
Right.
It's not in anybody else's space or anything like that.
We understand that.
All righty.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Now? Okay, I make a motion to amend application 23-093 to read the zoning district as Residence B and E business.
All in favor?
Aye.
The hearing is open and reserved. We're leaving the record open and reserved. Would anyone else like to be heard on this matter?
No.
Are there any other questions from the board? Okay, thank you. Next application. (23-110), Stevenson, Mondelos, and Islanda Bobert.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Gennaro Cozzolino for the homeowners, Stevenson Mondelis and Islanda Bobert, residing at 190 Suburban Avenue, Deer Park, also known as Section 92, Block 2, Lot 36, located in Residence B zone.
And your address, please?
2125 Deer Park Avenue, Deer Park, New York, 11729.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're requesting relief from the board.
Excuse me, one
Yep.
minute. For the record, we have a planning board memo dated July 27th, 2023. We have a Department of Environmental Control memorandum stating that this application will have no result in significant environmental impact. We have a survey by Lisa McQuillan dated October 28th, 2022, a tax map as an area map, and
Chairman, we have 4 photographs on the site plan by Kurt Jacobs dated December 2022.
thank you. Continue.
We're requesting relief from the board to maintain a 12.2-foot by 19.9 feet second-story deck, a shed and pool patio. The structures require variances for building area, requesting to maintain 2,626 square feet from permitted 2,014 square feet, a difference of 612 square feet. These structures comply with all other zoning requirements. The homeowners agree with the planning division's recommendation to condition the second-story deck never to be enclosed above or below.
Okay. And the pool is permitted and everything is legal on the pool. And you agree not to further enclose the deck?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Is there an amendment on here? Yes. Okay, let me just pull that paperwork up. I got it right here. Okay, I'd like to amend application 23-110, all in connection with the legal, maintaining an existing in-ground pool and pavers and a second-story rear deck. All in favor? Aye. Okay, is there anyone like to be heard on this application? This is just, it's over by 612 square feet. Are there any other questions from the board?
Does the applicant agree to the proposed condition?
Yes, he stated that previous. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Right, he said he would agree to that. So I make a motion to approve application 23-110 with the condition that the deck not be further enclosed above or below. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Approved as amended. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Application 23-113, Abigail Reserwitz.
Good evening. My name's Abigail Mazarowitz. I live at 4 Bunker Court, Wheatley Heights, New York, 11798.
You affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, for the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated July 27, 2023. Department of Environmental Control Memorandum stating that this application may not result in significant environmental impact. We have a survey by William Simmons dated 4/19/2023. Tax map as an area map,
Chairman, we have 35 photographs.
35 photographs. Okay. What would you like to tell us about this application?
I'm looking to get the approval for legalizing the buildings on the property and expanding the lot area. When we moved in, there were 2 buildings on the lot previously. That was in 1974. And since then, we did build, I see you found the CO for the large tool shed. I thought I could find the one for the cabana. I cannot find it. And the little shed in the back of the larger shed was there when we bought the house in 1974, as was what we're calling the gazebo now, which at the time was just an open, it was just an open gazebo. And we put, we did add some screens and a door. But the only other thing is I thought we had the cabana CO, but I just can't find it. And unfortunately, my husband passed away last year, and I can't get, I'm going through all his papers, and I could find the CO that was done for the original owners in 1968 for the covered patio. And the only thing that changed on that covered patio was they had a wood top on the patio, which rotted out, and we put an awning up. But other than that, nothing has changed in all the years we're there, 47 years. Those buildings have pretty much been up for the majority of that time.
When you bought the house, you said there were 2 existing structures in the rear?
Yes. No, that little shed behind the big shed was there, up against the fence.
Let's just clarify which, there's a big shed on the corner of the property,
In the back, yeah.
all the way in the back?
Yeah,
And
and
then
then there's a little shed behind that.
in front of it,
That
okay.
was there. And what now we're calling the gazebo was there.
Which one is called a gazebo?
On the other side. On
One
the
is
other-
called a cottage, that's in the,
Yeah, but it's really not a cottage, just nobody could live there.
that's the gazebo?
Yeah, And we added the screens and the door, so there would be no bugs. But before that, that structure was there also. What we did add, and I know we added it, was the little pool over the pool equipment. My husband built that. It's not attached to anything, and it's there to eliminate the noise. He put that up for that.
Okay, now this, I guess we're going to call it the tool shed,
That's the big,
the
yeah,
really
that's the
big one?
big tool
How
shed.
high is that? Do we have a height on that, or you said you don't have it, you
I
can't
have the-
find?
Yeah, I do have, actually, I have the, I think, I tried to bring whatever I could find with me. I brought the, do you want me to bring this to you?
Yeah, right here. This is a CO4.
Yeah.
This just says shed here.
I did think on your letter here, it said you found that for some reason. But,
Is there any plumbing or heating in that, in the large shed or the
shed,
cottage
no.
or any of those structures?
there is, no. The only thing that has electric is where the pool shed is.
Right.
The little pool house, because the appliances. And this is the CO I found for the back patio, where they thought that was an add-on. I don't know if you want that one also.
So what brings you here tonight?
Well, I'd like to get make all these things legal, because obviously they're not. But it looks like, for some reason, and I guess this was shock to me, that we have too much stuff on our property. So I'd like to get a variance to, I guess, approve the additional things and expand the amount that's allowable.
Okay, based on the fact that there's so many structures on the premises, and it's very difficult to just make a determination by looking at a survey or an overhead, we'd like to see if we could do a physical inspection.
Yeah, fine.
Okay? So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just hold the
Okay.
application open, reserve decision, and we're going to set up a physical inspection.
Okay,
So we can work from there.
okay, very good.
Okay, that way we could determine what we actually need to proceed.
Okay,
Okay?
okay, and I'll wait here and get copies.
You can take these.
Oh, thank you so much.
If you find any other records of anything, you can submit that.
I'm trying to look, but unfortunately, it's not that easy to find stuff. It wasn't very organized, unfortunately.
Okay, well, if you contact the building department, they'll help you with that, and then we'll also,
Okay.
set up an appointment for it.
Okay, and they'll get in touch with me about the inspection?
You should give a call.
Call them?
Yes,
Okay, very
please.
good.
Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? For the record, they're on, does the board members have any questions? Okay, we're
Okay.
going to hold this decision open, okay?
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
Yes, keep the record open, please. Okay, here's all the pictures. All right. Yeah, put that with that. Okay. Application 23-116, Hensley Murray and Paul Murray.
Good evening, board members. My name for the record is Marion Acevedo of 1740 Church Street, Holbrook, New York, 11741, in representation of 225 Greenland Street, Deer Park.
You affirm to tell the truth.
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated July 27, 2023. Department of Environmental Control memorandum dated August 2nd, 2023, stating that this application may not result in significant environmental impact. We have a survey by Lisa McQuillan dated March 19, 2004. We also have a highlighted key code of the areas, color-coded, by Martha McQuillan with the same date. We have two of those. And a tax map as an area map. What would you like to tell us?
We have 9 photographs.
And 9 photographs. Thank you.
The reason for the variance is they're going to be increasing the building area from a 20% to 36%, so it goes over the amount that is allotted by the zoning. What they're putting in is to enhance the property. It's still going to maintain very aesthetically and also to the environment, not impact any of the neighbors. They'll maintain a whole front grass yard. They'll still have a nice grass area in the yard. There's no large structures going up. It's a nice pool so the family can enjoy themselves with some pavers. So they also want permission to, I guess, maintain their existing shed. It will just, you have here noted, the west side lot line will be from 8 feet to 2.6 for the existing shed that's there. So we just want to legalize and see if they can be approved for the variance for the pool and the pavers.
Okay, so could you cut back those pavers to 2 feet on that one side?
Yes, we're in agreement with that, and you also have here listed if the shed ever needs to be taken down, that it would be rebuilt in a conforming location, and the owners do agree to that.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay. I'm going to make an application 23-116. I'd like to approve it with the condition that if the shed ever be moved, it would be rebuilt in a conforming location, and that the pavers will maintain a conforming 2-foot setback on all property lines.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Okay. This goes back. Next application, 23-111, Lana Callahan.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Gennaro Cozzolino for the homeowner, Lana Callanan, residing at 253 Farmers Avenue, Lindenhurst, also known as Section 155, Block 1, Lot 78, located in the B zone.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes,
For the record,
not yet.
Can we-
2125 Deer Park Avenue, Deer Park, New York, 11729.
thank you. For the record, we have a Planning Division memorandum dated July 27th, 2023. Department of Environmental Control memorandum stating that this application may not result in significant environmental impact. We have a survey by BBV Civil Engineers and Surveyors dated, what is the date on this? March 27, 2007, and a tax map as an area map. And
And we have 4 photographs on a site plan by Michael Angelone dated April 19, 2023.
what would you like to tell us about this application?
We're requesting relief from the board to build 2 second-floor additions. The proposed additions require variances for front yard setback, requesting to build at 22.7 feet instead of permitted 30 feet, a difference of 7.3 feet. Variance for minimum side yard setback, requesting to build at 6 feet instead of permitted 12 feet, a difference of 6 feet. Variance for total side yard setbacks, requesting to build at 16.41 feet instead of permitted 30 feet, a difference of 13.59 feet. Proposed additions will comply with all other zoning requirements. We will be building mostly over the existing footprint of the dwelling. There are existing setbacks, these existing setbacks, with the exception of the two-foot front cantilever, will not encroach any further into the side and rear yards. Proposed addition will have no significant impact to the environment, will not affect any adjacent properties, and will fit in with the character and nature of the neighborhood.
Okay, I'll turn the hearing over to Ms. Larigny.
So if we were to approve this application, would your applicant there not, would they not enclose the cantilever, leave the front open? The 2-foot overhang that you're proposing to construct, not enclose that?
Below?
Above or below?
Above or below?
Below, yeah.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Basically, everything else is in line with the structure. You're not really going any other way. Mr. Chairman, I got no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we would approve application 23-111 with the condition that the front cantilever not be enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Application 23115, Jose Hernandez and Sarah Holowecki. Name and address for the record, please.
Andrew Brom, 1924 Belmore Avenue, Belmore, New York, 11710.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Thank you. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated July 27th, 2023. Department of Environmental Control memorandum stating that this application may not result in significant environmental impact. We have a survey by Island-Wide Surveyors dated October 21, 2022. I guess a site plan by Island-Wide Surveyors showing the detail of the pool dated October 21, 2022, and the tax map as an area map.
Chairman, we have 16 photographs and another site plan by Andrew S. Brum, dated February 26, 2023.
What would you like to tell us about this application?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew Brom. I'm an engineer, and I'm representing Mr. Hernandez and Ms. Holowecki, who are both here in the audience with us tonight. As you can tell from either the survey or the site plan or the photographs, this is a very unique property. I like to say it's a land island because it actually has front yards on all sides of it. If you look at the survey, it has a front yard on Woodrow Parkway, Hawthorne Avenue, and Beverly Road. The homeowners purchased the house in November of this past year, and when they contacted me to put in a swimming pool, I mentioned to them this is on a land island, and you're going to need a variance, so they were prepared to do the variance. When we did this submission with an updated survey, we found that there were sheds on the property that also required a permit and hence a variance. So we're here seeking relief for a proposed in-ground swimming pool, an attached shed, a detached shed, and a slight increase over the allowable lot coverage in the residence zone A. To bring to your attention, which was covered in the planning memo, that this property is underneath the required 12,000, I think it was 12,500 or 12,000 required. So when you look at the lot coverage, because the property is smaller, it actually makes the impact a little bit higher. So that's why we're requesting the relief of 33.9% or 392 square feet. The planning memo also on the second page or the rear underlines that they would like to ask the applicant if they can relocate the shed to a greater property line distance. The homeowners purchased the property with both the attached shed and the detached shed. My research on Google Earth shows the shed was there for approximately 11 years, and I don't know of any complaints from it being there. The shed, from the photographs you can see, it's old, and it would not survive a move, and there really is not a conforming location of where it could be put. So as part of this variance, I am confident that the owners would agree, if they were to ever rebuild the shed or take down the shed, that they would move it to a conforming location or seek a variance for another location of the shed. They greatly enjoy the use of the shed, and when I was at the property, and some of the photographs may show, they are clearly using it for all the storage. Moving on to talk about this proposed swimming pool. We put the pool in the best location possible with the greatest distances from the property lines. It fully meets and exceeds all of New York State and town codes, as well as there is a decent amount of screening both on Woodrow Parkway and Hawthorne Avenue that would block the pool. So essentially, we're requesting your approval for the items that I mentioned there, and the benefit here to these applicants would greatly outweigh any detriment or property value loss in the area. Does the board have any questions for me?
Turning the hearing over to Ms. McCullum.
All right, so the property is very well maintained, but it is extremely busy too. So I did like all of the, you don't have fencing around like where the pool area is currently. There's just greenage there currently now.
Current, yes.
And you are proposing to put a fence,
Correct.
4 foot?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I do not like that shed. You guys like that shed? No, the look of it, not, oh, it's so ugly.
In my preparation for the hearing, once I got this memo,
So bad.
I immediately spoke to the homeowners, and Mr. Hernandez is prepared to speak to you if you need to hear it, that they love the shed. And they purchased the house, not for the shed, but purchased it knowing that the shed was there.
It's like antique-ish,
It's-
so I can understand why you would
Yeah,
appreciate
it's cute.
it.
I have some photographs that I submitted if the board needs to see it, if you didn't have the benefit of seeing the beautiful shed. But, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Please, you
You
can
gotta
step
go.
up and give your name and address for the record.
Sarah Holowecki. You want my address too? 105 Woodrow Parkway, Babylon, West
You're
Babylon.
firm to tell the truth.
I do.
Go right ahead.
You don't see the shed from the street. There's those bushes there, and then on the back side, whatever bushes they had planted at some time are grown to the height of the shed already.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
covered.
the house was bought the way it is like that. It doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't
It's
look
a
like
lot
that.
cleaner now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
But you don't see the ugly shed from the street.
It just needs to be updated. But, okay. Thank you. There, honestly, I don't know where else it could even be relocated to
They'd have to remove it.
at some point, yeah,
You want to ask?
because there's no space. But they did agree to that already, so I'm fine with that.
Okay?
So if the board was so inclined to approve the shed in its current location with the condition that if it's ever rebuilt or redone, it would be put in a conforming location or variance, they would also agree on the record that they will improve the outward condition of the shed,
That doesn't-
if that's what you need, ma'am.
No, I don't care. I was
Okay.
just being funny. Yeah, there's no place to even really move it to a conforming location.
There's no
Exactly.
conforming location. It'd have to
No,
be a
yeah,
variance.
so it doesn't
So
really
my
matter.
So it
condition
would
would
have to be either removed or go
remove
for a
or
variance.
come back in front of this board for a new location for a proposed
Correct.
shed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. Okay, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? For the record, would anyone like to be heard on this application? For For the record, there are none. There is a stipulation here about the contractor for the pool would need to find a temporary dewatering permit, and so he has to address that also.
That would be addressed by the contractor with the building department. The
If we were to
homeowners are
approve.
in agreement if that is required.
Right, if we were approved the application. Is there any other questions from the board? For the record, there are none. We're going to keep the record open and hold the decision. We'll get the notice in the mail.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Members of the board, I would like to recuse myself from the next application.
Okay.
You have a question?
That would be a good idea. I'd like to turn this meeting over to Mr. John Shepherd. Thank you.
Next application is application 23-114 of East Neck Auto. In the interest of full disclosure, this business is affiliated with a member of the board who has recused himself from this hearing. Does any board member feel they cannot review this application impartially?
No.
Let the record reflect that no one has indicated yes. We will proceed with the introduction of the record. On this application, we have a planning department memo dated July 28th, a DEC memo dated August 2nd. Did I mention the application number? If approved, this application may not result in significant environmental impact. For fire marshal's report, it has a valid fire permit. Suffolk County Planning, decision of local determination should not be construed as either approval or disapproval. We have a planning site plan from Frank J. Ward dated August 25th, 2003. A survey from Frank J. Ward dated August 25th, 2003. Tax map acting as a area map. Did I miss anything?
No, and we have 12 photographs.
And 12 photographs.
Great.
What would you like to tell us?
Chairman Shepherd.
Oh, yes, please. Name and address for the record,
Yes,
please.
good evening. I'm Mark Garabrandt. I'm with the law firm of Donahue, Kretz & Garabrandt, 692 South Wellwood Avenue, Lyndhurst, New York.
And your
Good
firm to
evening.
tell the truth?
Yes, absolutely. As the planning memo indicates, we're seeking renewal of a special permit to conduct a public garage as an auto repair shop in addition to the sale of motorcycles. We received our first special permit back in 2003. That was renewed in 2006 for another 3 years. It was renewed in 2009 for another 3 years. It was renewed 2012 for 5 years, and most recently it was renewed in 2017 for 5 years, which brings us here to date. So obviously this is the sixth time before the board seeking permission to continue the use. As the planning memo indicates, there are no open complaints concerning the premises. There was a site review on July 28th. The property is neat and well-kept, and dare say that any time that I've visited the premises, it's been in that kind of a condition. So there were covenants and restrictions that were imposed back in 2003, which run with the land, and obviously have no objection to those being continued, and request permission for at least another 5 years to maintain this special permit.
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
All right, well, I agree with everything you said. Anytime I visited this property or driven past, it's always been very well kept. Business is good, I'm assuming? Yeah?
Good enough?
Good
Yeah,
enough?
Good enough, yes.
Okay. I'm always impressed at the cleanliness of it. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Is there anybody that'd like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Are there any members of the board like to ask any questions? I've been by there, I live right around the block, too. It's impeccable.
Yeah, always. Good. All right, I make a motion to approve application 23-114 for 5 years, subject to the standard covenants and restrictions.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Good luck.
As far as standard covenant, that we're just talking about the CNRs that are already in place.
Already, yeah.
Okay. Have a nice evening, all. Thank you.
You as well.
Yeah. This concludes the end of our live stream. We'll continue our meeting in, what do you call that? In our work session.